Everyone, welcome to my channel. So in this video I'm going to cover the topic how to apply for a software engineer job. So the goal of this video is to help increase the chance for you to pass the resume screening round and get you a real solid interview opportunity. So if you have ever applied a few jobs and weeks later you didn't hear back from the recruiter, this might be the video you want to check out. So to kick off the whole process, you need to have your resume prepared. I'll have a separate video going through an example resume to let you know how to write a good resume, but here I'll list a few points you want to take into consideration during the time you prepare for your resume. So to prepare for your resume, first of all, you need to choose a good template. So how to tell it is a good template? A good template should be succinct. Usually it is one page. Because people don't have enough time to go over the rest of the pages, usually their focus is on the first page. So you want to be succinct and have everything to be included in one page. That's a usual case. And also you want to have your resume to be informational and understandable. So you don't want to include all of the details, but you definitely want to highlight the most important parts people don't want to miss. For example, you led a very important project and you have some very important curricula you selected during your school. So those are the things you might want to highlight if you think that's important. So that's a part to choose the good template. So after you have a good template chosen, the next thing is for you to take some time to review your past experience. So there are definitely something you want to take into consideration, what you want to include in your resume and what you don't want to include in your resume. So first of all, please don't fake your resume. So for example, if you don't have the industry experience in a certain company, for example, you have never worked in Microsoft, don't say you have worked in Microsoft for 2 years, because people may ask about your industry experience and have you have a quick introduction about the projects you did during the company. So if you don't have a good question, if you don't have a good answer for that, people may wonder why. So first of all, don't fake your resume about your experience. But it is not the time for you to be humble. So also you don't want to be humble. So you want to let yourself shine out. So for example, if you led a feature implementation, but some of the code is done by your teammate, feel free to say, okay, you led the project to be successful, successfully launched finally. So it doesn't need to be like all of the 100% of the work is done by yourself, but if you're a primary contributor or you lead the feature, feel free to say, okay, you lead the project. And then the next thing you don't want to do is you don't want to include something you don't remember. So for example, if it is a project you did 5 years ago and you don't remember most of the things, then that's the thing you definitely don't want to include in your resume. So again, people may want to ask some questions about the project and the process you lead the project. So if you don't remember correctly or you don't remember most of the things, please ignore that. And also, it comes to the next points we need to do. So we need to be prepared for about the questions that can be potentially asked about the things you include in your resume. So for example, if you include your resume saying, okay, you're a Java expert, people may want to ask something like garbage collection. If you don't have a good answer, so people may also wonder why. And then the next point comes to don't include something you are currently not familiar with. So it's very similar. So you might be a Java expert before, but after years, for example, after years, you took the manager role and you don't write any code, you're not a Java expert anymore, then please don't say you're a Java expert at this moment, because again, people may ask you some specific small little details about to test your knowledge about that part. And then the next part is don't include all of the details. So for some of the projects, you may think it is very difficult, it's very important, and but it is just for you. So again, so the importance or the difficulty is case by case. So you don't want to include all of the details. So for example, if you let a project, for example, if you refine the AWS and policy by including a role, it seems to be very important to you, but for the customers, it may not be that important. And it might seem to be very difficult to you, but for some more of the senior engineers, it may just be a small little feature. So again, don't include all of the details, but instead you want to make the thing to be succinct. So for example, you just say, okay, I led the project adding a new role in the AWS and policy verification, authentication, authorization, something like that. So it should be succinct, but at the same time, it should be understandable. So if you think, okay, one sentence is not enough, definitely include some more of the information to help people understand what it is. So that comes to the resume preparation part. And the next part, which is in my opinion, it is equally important comparing to the resume preparation, which is about how you want to submit your resume, because different ways can have different chance for you to pass your resume to bring real attention from the hiring recruiter. So the first way people do is to submit your resume on the website. That is where the job opportunity is listed. So in my honest opinion, this might be the last way you want to do, because for a certain job, there might be tens of hundreds of the resumes submitted, and they look very much similar, and the hiring recruiter may get easily lost if the resume didn't catch his or her eye. So I would say this one is doable, but usually it's not the most efficient way for you to catch HR. So the next thing is to submit your resume where career fair. So if you're in school, there might be some career fair during spring or during autumn. And if you're in the industry, there are some events like grasshopper events every year. So this is another good chance for you to submit your resume, and so at that time you can have like a succinct brief talk with a recruiter or a engineer from the company to get his or her attention. So I would say this is a good way, but this definitely has more chance to catch people's attention, but there are some other ways that can be more efficient actually. So the next way comes to do linking communication. So you can search around LinkedIn, send a message to some hiring recruiter about some certain job opportunity to let him or her help. So you may have a good chance to get people's attention about your job application in this way, but it is case by case. So I would recommend you to reach more people in the same company. So for example, if you search on the LinkedIn and you see 5 of the HRs, definitely reach to 5 of the HRs or 3 of the 4 of the HRs, instead of just holding all your attention on one person, because the person might be on vacation or something like that. So you don't want to risk yourself waiting for another few days before he or she can see your message. And the last way I would say, which is the most efficient way to get your attention, to get HR's attention on your resume, is to wear internal transfer. So don't be shy to ask help from your friends. If you know some friends from some companies you definitely want to work with. So for example, if you have some good friends from Google, from LinkedIn, from Apple, Facebook, don't hesitate to ask him or her to help you to submit to forward your resume to the internal referral system, if he or she knows your work pretty well. Because I would say every person, everyone need help from each other. So if you need help, don't hesitate, don't be shy, don't think that you can do everything by yourself. So I would say the most efficient way is to get an internal referral for the job opportunity you want to apply for. So I would say four little ways. The one I recommend most is to get an internal referral, and there is way you can submit your resume on the website, but usually that's not the best way you want to do during the time you want to apply for a job. So that's it for all of the things I want to talk about how to apply for a software engineer job. If you like this video, please help subscribe to this channel. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.